Okay, this is for both Windows, now WSL, Mac, and Linux people. So the first thing we're going to install is VS Code, which you're just going to search VS Code like this in a browser. And it's the very first thing. It looks like this. It'll probably say download for Mac. If you have a Mac, for Windows, just download for Windows. Click download. Make sure you agree and make sure you set the path. Just click agree for everything, and it'll download correctly. And make sure you're downloading Visual Studio Code, not Visual Studio. There's a difference. This one's like blue, that one's like purple. So make sure you download the blue one. VS Code is also what it's called. So after you download this, you should be able to open it, and it should look like this. You're probably not going to have all this. That's fine. But it's probably going to be empty, which is okay. What you're going to do is you're going to want to click this extensions thing, and you're going to want to search remote. Oh, do this if you're in a Windows computer. If you're in a Mac, you don't have to do this. Windows only with WSL. Remote development. It's not going to do anything if you use this, if you install this on a Mac computer. And click install. And it should install. And then you probably have to reset your VS Code or something. I don't know. And then down here, you should see these two arrows. And you click here, and you click connect to WSL. And that's how you're going to connect to that Windows subsystem for Linux. So then, once you have this installed, there's a few other extensions we're going to install. The next one is going to be Solidity. So just search Solidity, and you're going to want to install this one from Hardhat. It looks like this. It's like a yellow Ethereum logo. And then the next thing you're going to want to install, search Toml. It should be called Even Better Toml. You're going to want to install this. Okay, so now that you have everything on there and you have the correct extensions, next, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to File, Preferences, Settings. You want to search Auto Save. And you want to make sure this is on Focus Change. That way you don't have to keep repeatedly saving the code every single time. You also want to do Format, and I think if I Solidity Formatter, I select Prettier. You probably also need Prettier. If it doesn't say Prettier, come back over here. And we're going to install Prettier, which is right here. Click Install, and then you should be able to do that. I think might as well reset your Windows thing. If it doesn't work, you're fine. It'll probably figure it out automatically. If you have any, if it's not working, ask me in the Discord, and I can help you. I just have lots of settings that I've done over time, and I don't fully remember all of the exact steps. But this is pretty much what you're going to do, and this will set you up very nicely. So then what we're going to do, now we're going to install Foundry, which is this tool that we've been using. So to install it, you can either go up here and click Terminal, New Terminal, or you can use Control tilde, which is like that wiggly line in the top left of your keyboard. If you Control Shift tilde, it opens a new terminal. Control tilde just opens and closes it, and like it hides it. So we just need one of these open. And what we're going to want to do is we're going to navigate to the website. We're going to search Foundry Crypto. And you're going to want to do this one. It's the GitHub. Foundry is blazing fast. Click on it. This is what it should look like. This is the GitHub repository for Foundry, the tool. We're going to click get foundry.sh. And this is going to be a simple command that we're going to copy. And then when we go to here, our VS Code, just paste it in, run it. It should look like this. You're going to want to run source, your name like that. And then you're going to run Foundry up. Now it's going to install Foundry. And if all this is working, it should look like this. Then you're on the right track. So then to know, make sure to install you do // version, and you should see something like that. So what I would recommend doing is I would do a make directory, and I would call it like crypto stuff, or crypto, and then I would enter that directory. I have literally one called crypto stuff. I would then make another directory called Foundry Workshop. We're gonna enter that one. Oh, actually, yeah, it's called Foundry. To autocomplete, you do tab. So yeah, it's auto-completing. And if I do autocomplete, and then just to show you, if I do auto, so CD is how you enter directories. It's kind of like in a folder. You click on a folder. If I do ls, it shows me all the folders. If I do cd like sandcastle, click tabbing, it's going to show me all the potential options. CD Foundry, it's going to show me all the options. We want to enter the workshop. So to open and initialize a Foundry environment, you're just going to run forge init and the name of that. So we're just going to call it my first smart contract. And you should see this. If you get anything errors, if you're on Mac and you see something about like Git, you probably need Homebrew. If you're on Mac, and so it's pretty easy to install Homebrew and just look install Homebrew. And you just click this command and you run it here. If you're on a Mac, and then to install Git for Mac, you just search install Git Mac. And it's just a simple command: brew install Git. Boom. Now you have Git. Then you should be able to run Forge init. If you don't get that, you might get that when you're on Forge build, but we're not going to do that yet. So if I click ls, there's my first smart contract. Now I can't interact with it because I'm not in this directory. So first you have to do cd and we have to enter it. Now I'm in this directory. What we can also do is do code dot. This works on Windows. If you're on a Mac, you have to click file, open folder, and you have to open my first smart contract folder. So click code dot, and now it's going to open up a VS Code inside of this repo, and we can run forge build, and you should see it all compile. It's probably going to say installing Sulk, which basically means it's installing the Solidity language compiler. So when you click on it, you should see all this text highlighting. You should see the smart contract. If you see like something that looks like this, a bunch of weird output, that means you're in the output folder. Make sure you do control tilde to get back to the terminal. Forge test. As you can see, it works. Everything's passing. Again, if you have a Git problem, make sure you install Homebrew, and then make sure you install Git installed. To know if you have Git installed, all you have to do is -git -version, and it should show you that. And if you're at this point, you're basically far enough that at the next workshop you'll be fine. I know there's a lot of steps in this video. Feel free to just DM me in the Discord or in the server if you have any questions. But also feel free to play around with this. You know, it's a pretty simple smart contract. It's just a counter, so it has a number. You can set the number and you can increment the number. So we're gonna learn some more advanced testing techniques. I think testing is like honestly where it gets really fun and cool. It sounds really boring, but it's kind of addicting because it's kind of like you're coming up with different ways to try and break this smart contract. And so like this is what the test looks like. We have a setup, so it runs this setup before every test. These are each of the tests. This one's pretty simple. We set the number at 0. If we increment it, it's going to be equal to 1, right? We're starting it equal to 1. This one's pretty cool. It's a fuzz test. So we're setting the number as X, and then we're starting the number. It's going to be X. And X can be anything. Because it's a fuzz, it's just going to be randomly trying inputs. So if you look at this, it did 256 runs. So it tried 256 different inputs, which is pretty cool. And there's a lot you can do with this. And just to show that, like, if I were to make this +1, and then I rerun it, forge test, it's going to fail because some random number it tried is not equal to that +1. That's how you can kind of like test your code, basically. That's what the whole point is. So we're going to talk more about this when we go there. Quickly, there's also a scripts folder. It's kind of like the tests, but we're not trying to test anything. We're trying to like interact with our smart contract. So if we have a smart contract on chain and we want to do things like, we want to set the number to 0, then we want to increment it, right? And we don't want to do this just to test it. We just want to do this to just run the commands. Then that's why we'll use a script for that, usually to set up our smart contracts. And obviously we'll talk more about this at the next workshop. So I look forward to seeing you guys there. Thank you for watching.